And we are live. Hey, hey, hey. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the group. Or if you're tuning into the podcast, welcome to the podcast. So nice to have you guys here today. I'm so excited to talk about the topic I have, which is perfection is the enemy of progress. And I wanted to talk to you guys about this today because I want to give you permission from one business owner to the next that you don't have to be perfect. It's okay not to be perfect. If you're just popping on, say hello, get into these comments here and give me some love. It's so nice to see you guys on. So I wanted to give you the permission to release this perfection that you have. A lot of times as business owners, we're that type A personality. We want to get everything done. We want everything to be perfect. We want it to look so beautiful and professional. And all of that's great. Hey, Betsy, nice to see you. All of that's wonderful. However, if that stops you from moving forward, you need to take a step back and say, you know what? I don't need to be perfect right now. It's okay. And that's the only way to move the business forward. I am a recovering perfectionist. I love everything to be perfect. You can ask my family members. They make fun of me about this all the time. And I had to learn through growing my business that it's okay to not be perfect. It's okay to put something out there that is not spick and span and tip and top. So what I wanted to convey in this message today is that you stop yourself from growth when you focus on perfection. I always say done is better than perfect. The same way that moving is better than standing still. So I'm going to give you a few examples. I have sent out emails to my subscribers. I send out 2 weekly newsletters. And I have sent out emails that have had a spelling error or a grammar mistake. And as soon as I hit send and it goes out, I freak out. I'm like, no, how could I have spelt your without the apostrophe and RE? You know, it just happens. I sit and I quickly write my emails and I send them out. And I don't proofread all the time. Sometimes I do when I have time and sometimes I don't. But I still keep moving forward. I still keep sending out emails and nurturing my subscribers because that is more beneficial to me and my business and more beneficial and providing more value to my subscribers than it is for me to hold back what I want to get out there. Another example is one of my lead magnets. In fact, it's my most downloaded lead magnet to date. And it says page 3 twice. And you know what? I put this lead magnet out there. It's my experts marketing guide to growing your coaching business or practice, the 5 things you could be doing right now. I made this maybe a year ago, I think. And I put it out there and so many people downloaded it and I promoted it and I did speaking engagements and I spoke about it. And it wasn't until it had been out for about 6 months that I was looking through and I'm like, oh my gosh, it has page 3 on there twice. Of course, I cringed. I was so embarrassed. But you know what? So many people, hundreds of people have downloaded this thing and gotten tons of value for it. And they probably didn't even notice it had page 3 twice on there. And maybe they did, but it didn't stop them from getting the value that was in that lead magnet. It didn't stop them from contacting me. It didn't stop them from wanting to work with me or learn more. And if I had held back, or if I had taken it down, it would have messed up all of my data and my search tracking, and it would have prevented other people from getting it. So it's still up there and it still says page 3 twice. But you know what? The value that's in there is phenomenal. So that's just a few examples to show you that when you stand by the belief that done is better than perfect, you are creating a positive momentum forward. You are saying, I'm putting it out there and I'm moving on to the next thing. I'm going to put something else out there and I move on to the next thing. And you just keep taking steps forward in your business. The only way your business grows is by taking those steps forward. So if you stop yourself, you are essentially stunting your growth. And you know what? Nothing is perfect. There is no such thing as perfection. So when you're striving for perfection, that's great because you know you're going to get something great out of it, but then it stops there. You don't have to go even beyond that. I want you to focus on money making activities and business building activities. They're going to move your business forward. And sitting there and tweaking, if this is centered a little bit to the right, a little bit to the left, is not going to help you do that. It's not going to push you forward. In fact, there is a very big social media influencer. I won't mention her name. She's huge. She's been around for years. She's got a lot of great stuff going on. And her branding and her funnel pages, and even a few courses of hers that I had downloaded just to see what it was about, are not pretty. They're really ugly. There's spelling errors. There's centering things that are messed up. The font isn't nice. Some of her courses have places where it was very clear that she wanted to go back and edit out things and then didn't edit them out and put it out there. And I remember when I went through it, I was like, what? She's a huge influencer and this is the stuff she's putting out? And I was shocked by it because I would never put something out that looked like that. But you know what? She's a huge influencer making multi-million dollars in her business because the value of what's in there, the content, is what truly matters. And that's what people take away from it. Not the branding, not the imaging, not anything like that. So I just want you to put that into perspective a little bit. You don't have to be perfect in everything you do. And holding out on publishing something until you have a better version prevents you from getting out what you have to say now. It prevents you from showcasing your expertise now. It prevents you from nurturing your subscribers and providing value now. And if no one sees it because you're sitting there trying to tweak things forever, then it doesn't exist. If no one sees it, it doesn't exist, plain and simple. And that's essentially why sales and marketing are the most important part of your business. And you should be spending about 75% of the time that you have in your business working on sales and marketing, because that's what makes a business. So if no one sees it, it doesn't exist. And you can't make money from products and services that you haven't launched yet. And the longer you wait, the more likely it is that someone else will launch a similar product or service ahead of you. And then that idea, that brilliant idea that you had that was innovative, is no longer yours as the first person to have it. You deny your clients of unique value when you hold back because you're stuck in this perfection circle. So yes, we could be try to be perfect. Yes, we can want things to look so beautiful. But the truth of the matter is, if you have value to give, just give it. Just get it out and move on to the next thing. There are things that I've created in my business 5 years ago that are still doing so well now. And when I look back at them, I go, oh, I created that. That does not look like anything I would create now. Because here I am 5 years later in my business, creating much better, higher quality things with all the experience that I've had over the 5 years. So if I had waited at the beginning to say, gosh, I wish it looked like something that I would have produced nowadays, I'd be waiting 5 years. And I wouldn't be where I am today. I hope this makes sense to you guys. If you have any questions, pop them in. But really, what I want you to take away from this is that what you have to offer is important. And nobody's going to know what you have to offer if you don't put it out there. And the goal with sales and marketing is to get other people to know what you have to put out there is great. So you know what you have to offer is amazing. You just need other people to find you and realize that same thing. And they're not going to find you and they're not going to realize that same thing if you don't have something to put out there. Another example that I have quickly before I hop off is that I made a lead magnet a long time ago. And I said, okay, I'm going to put it out there and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to fix it up later. And you know what? I never went back and fixed it up because it did so well on its own and I don't need to go back. It's old news now, like I'm moving forward and I'm doing other things. However, if you were to put out a lead magnet now and say, I'll fix it later, and you truly wanted to go back and fix it later, you could do that because you put it out that first time. So when you put something out the first time, it gives your audience the ability to look it over, offer feedback, maybe ask questions, and then you could take those questions into account when you revamp it later on. It's much better to put it out and be done and revamp later if necessary than it is to hold back and not do it. So I want you to go take some imperfect action today. Done is better than perfect. And I give you the permission to finish up what you're working on right now and just get it out there. Don't sit there and try and fix things and make it complicated. Keep it simple. Keep moving forward. Be consistent, and you will do great. All right. I hope to talk to you guys soon, and have a beautiful Monday. Bye.